Hi, I'm Lasertrap, and I've been running this game for like 3.5 years, I want to say. I started out with free play, but I then came to story mode not too long after, and we're going to be playing all of the levels in story mode today. There's going to be no level skips. We're going to see just about everything this game has to offer, and it's going to be a really fun ride. Um, I could finish really far under estimate, I could finish really close up to estimate. This game likes to crash sometimes, and we don't know why. But whatever happens, all I want is for everyone to have a good time. So time won't start just yet. I am of course in control of the timer, but we just need to show new game file select for verification purposes. And we're going to go into the first level. It's the only one we have unlocked. Hit story mode, and we're going to see our very first cutscene. These are animated quite what's the word? Poorly? That's a little harsh, but I'm sure many animators out there probably would think so. And I make that about 3 seconds before the level begins. I was about a second off, so we'll add a second on to the end of this run's time. Alright, so right off the bat, we've got two characters that I can control at any time. So far I'm just going to run straight past these battle droids. And then I'll run into an extra friend. This is TC-14. He's a protocol droid and he can unlock panels like that. I actually activated that panel right before an event cutscene happened. And an event cutscene is different to like a regular story cutscene because it's in the level. You can pause in the middle of it, for example. Now here's the droidicas. I'm gonna go quiet for just a second. Ooh, hello. So that strat is actually a lot harder than it looks. As you saw in the first, or the second hit, I struggled to get my lightsaber out. That was first implemented by Zelda Cubed, who has second place in any percent. This room, you have to defeat the battle droids. Now you'll notice after I do a slam like that, I character swap, and that is really good for animation cancelling. And then on this one over here, I can just use the Force. Door opens, we're good to go. Coming up right here, we have a trick called Lamp Jump Extreme. And just over the fence like that. It's quite difficult, not really a beginner-friendly trick. There are other ways to go about it. And in here is the end of the level. But I'm gonna... You'll hopefully see some pausing. Ooh. Oh, I missed it. Okay, so... Each cutscene that isn't right at the beginning of the level, you can actually skip with a frame-perfect pause. Now, of course, I was a little bit surprised there, because that one's usually much more consistent for me. But... Oops. I want to save the game for marathon safety. But, I suppose you can never be surprised about missing a frame-perfect trick like that. It is faster not to save your game. But as I mentioned, this game can crash. I've done one marathon run of all levels before, and all levels likes to throw a new thing at me every time I run it. Last time I ran it for a marathon, I had a crash that I'd only seen once before, but I also found a new way to softlock. So I lost about 6 minutes of time, but we didn't pause the timer, and I still came 2 minutes under estimate. So overall, it's pretty reliable, not too bad. We're heading into Naboo here. Now, if you played LEGO Star Wars on the PC and console, you might remember there being Invasion of Naboo, the level where you play as Jar Jar. Well, unfortunately, Jar Jar doesn't have a story mode appearance in this game. And we're going straight to what you might know as 1.3 on PC and console. I do say, unfortunately, we don't get to play as Jar Jar, because Jar Jar actually has a very interesting characteristic, very interesting properties that make him the only regular character to double jump and use a blaster. And those properties together mean that you can infinitely jump, and that's like the main trick that we will not be seeing in this run. So to start off, it doesn't look like I'm doing much in this level, but I actually am shooting canisters and the like so that I can get studs to fall into my path. I do need studs because there is something I will want to buy after the end of episode 2. Gonna get Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan there. Don't really need them though. Blue stud there right out in the open. If you're not really familiar with the LEGO games, it's good to mention that silver studs are worth 10, gold 100, and blue 1000. Some even have purple studs which are worth 10,000, but they are not in this game. So I need to shoot these targets to open the door. I kind of messed up the jump off that platform so that I couldn't get those on the right side a little bit quicker, but that's okay. I do only have 1 heart, so hopefully I'm not going to be taking any deaths. Deaths are not very punishing, but you still don't want them. It's still a time loss. And I am going to jump in the air for some of these studs. I'm character swapping to give me a little bit of a height boost to see if I can get some blues, but it looked like I didn't get any. So now here's the end of the level, and let's see. Nope, still didn't get it. I do try to buffer my pauses. I'm actually using both hands at once to do that. On the start button and the B button. So far we haven't had any luck. That's okay. We are coming into the pod race now. A bit of a long cutscene, so I'm taking a sip of water. It's a long run. Plenty of downtime to drink water as well. Obi-Wan's having a little bit of trouble fixing the engine there. Oh, I think it's completely gone now. $500. Hey, look. Pod racing. Alright, so we're gonna go pod racing, and the one thing about the ship levels in this game is that they're very flat. They're quite 2D. So it's 3 laps of just going straight, and it's supposed to loop around in some way, I guess. Oh, excuse me, did I say 3 laps? I think I only feel like doing 2 today. So we can actually skip a lap. I'll explain a little bit more when I get there, but right now I'm gonna be going for the boost pads, but also some extra safety studs. I want to make sure I have just enough to be safe in a marathon setting. By the end of episode 2, I will need 90,000 total. I'm going to take this path here, which usually just leads you to the red power brick, but it's a lot faster because there's more boosters, and I'm gonna hit myself on the wall and then die. And you saw the screen go a little bit funny there, and now everyone's zooming ahead because the computers are rubber banding really, really badly. I don't know if you all caught Super Viper's Mario Kart 64 run the other day, where he talked about rubber banding, but this game has some serious rubber banding problems in the pod race. Then again, you're not really supposed to skip an entire lap, but I am actually on lap 3 right now. The game just doesn't really want to acknowledge it. Okay, I didn't even get a pause out that time. I was just on the pause button, but it's okay. Hey, Sepulpa, would you mind moving? I gotta go fast. And then once again, we'll take the red power brick path. And then we'll cross the line and finish the race. Okay, there we go. That's the cutscene skip. We finally got our first one. It took 4 tries, but we got it. And it was probably on the biggest, definitely on the biggest cutscene so far. So that's good. It is a new lap record. And I actually started the level paused there because when you're buffering pauses like that, and you want to be as accurate as possible, you can sometimes like get an extra frame perfect input after the level's already done, but that just makes the game start you paused in the next level. So here we are in Thied Palace. What can I say about Thied Palace? Not too much at the beginning. These droidekas are a bit mean. I just want to build this button and then step on it. My partner there is going to help me as well. These LEGO games were kind of originally intended as co-op games. You can play this co-op. I've never experienced it myself, but that's why there's always 2 characters out. Here I'm going to do a bit of a skip, double jump, and a character swap. The character swap gives me a little bit of an extra height boost. Unfortunately, I can't skip this section, but I need Anakin to go through the travel chute. Small characters can go through those little hatches. Oop, I didn't actually fall down. And then we're going to go back across. This is the final room of the level. It's a little bit of a long one, and it is actually kind of underrated, like the movement that you will need to do for this room. It's not really very simple. I'm first of all going to jump up here. There is probably a faster method, but safety studs. I'm going to kill this battle droid with the Force, and then while the screen is fading out to show me this event cutscene, I actually got a little bit of extra movement and back towards the right, where I'm heading next. The other battle droids, I'm going to want to shoot with a gun character, such as Padme right here. Just because with a lightsaber, you do actually take time to use the Force. Or the lightsaber as well. I haven't actually mentioned as well that all Jedis in this can double jump. So now we've freed the Royal Guards, and I guess R2 is going to be our hero and get us out of here. Alright, let's see if we can get this one. Nope, I didn't even hit the B button. Looking like a bad day for cutscene skips, but that's okay. I still have a good enough estimate so that even if I miss quite a few of them, we'll be good to go. Plus I'm next as well, so at the moment I'd only be delaying myself. So, final level of episode 1. 5 levels in each episode in this version of the game. And the level is simply called Darth Maul. We are going to be fighting him, and it will be difficult. But first of all, we have to actually get to him. And by doing that, I'm just going to be deflecting these blaster bolts back at the battle droids. Then Darth Maul will throw a container at me, and I will use the Force to throw it back. We do actually have a cool way to speed up this fight in free play. I am slightly jealous of other versions of this level on PC and console that can actually completely skip the first Maul fight. But if we do that in this game, and we get to the end where the main Maul fight is, Maul just doesn't show up, and you can't even leave that room, so it is actually a soft lock. Other than being able to pause and exit. Gonna go for a platform skip here. That might have been a bit early. Nope, I got it. That one, it's far too big of a gap to do without the platform. So Maul's going to jump away and the platforms are going to disappear. I have to take out the battle droids at the very ends of the room. There's one. And because I don't have any blaster characters, it is faster for me to take them out with the Force. In this case, especially because these blaster battle droids would take 2 hits. With a lightsaber, that is. Alright. We lovingly call this the Room of Pointlessness. Of course, in the movies, there's the scene where Obi-Wan is trapped behind the force fields, but we're just going to go through them together, pulling these switches. And on this one, I see some lovely blue studs in the air, and I want to play it safe still. But I'm also going to swap back to Qui-Gon, because each lightsaber character has slightly different attacks, and I am not a fan of Obi-Wan's. So lightsaber bosses are actually quite difficult in this game. You can't, like, jump slam them or anything. You have to fight them, and the best way to do that is, like, as they start to attack you, you start to attack them, and then you should get an attack on them right as they're at the end of their attack. So that's not a bad first phase, to be honest. I very, very rarely get perfect first phases. In this level, I have more experience with than most of them in this run because it's in any percent. But I'm very happy that I get to show off the full game for you today. Alright. I might die because I do only have 1 heart. Oh, I just went for a cutscene skip, but I didn't get the last attack out. Yeah, that cutscene skip I never really expect to get anyway. It is a long one, but being at the end of a boss, it is really hard. 1 for 6 is really not good, but at the end of the day, this episode 1 is still being good enough to be in the 15-minute range. I can tell by where the timer is right now. I don't even think I've got sub 15 yet for episode 1. I think my PB has a 15:12. But sub 15 should definitely be possible. Alright, 58,000 exactly. That's a decent number to have. Oh, let me show off Jar Jar here, since I did already unlock him. Jar Jar can do a bit of infinite jumping, just like that. Unfortunately, we can't use him in any of the levels. I did lose a little bit of time just to show you that, but I think it's worth it. Because now I can say I've shown off pretty much everything this game has to offer. I'm going to take a bit of a drink here. Alright, heading into episode 2. 4 out of 5 levels take place in the last, like, 40 minutes of the movie. And we just start off on Camino here. Bit of a strange level. It's the only level that has 5 cutscenes, and of course, since you can't skip the intro cutscene of any level, that means there are 4 cutscenes that we could skip. And also, the characters we have are Obi-Wan and R4, and we don't get any other characters that go faster during the level. Got pushed forward by, I forget, is this Lamassu? Alright, here's the first cutscene, but it's only like 5-7 seconds. It's actually very rare for me to get that one anyway because it's so hard to time compared to the others. I'm going to be doing an out-of-bounds jump here, though. If I can get up onto this, and around, and we skip the door, which means we don't have to wait for R4. Through here. There we go, that's a cutscene skip, although that one's actually really easy, because cutscene skips that happen on a room transition, fortunately, it is technically still frame perfect, but you can just hold start through the room transition. Alright, Django, I'm gonna force kill you. What? The level didn't end. Alright, so that Django there is unfortunately not tied to the Django at the end of the level. So you can very easily just force kill Django like that, but the level goes on. Sometimes he even drops a heart when you do that. Alright, here's a long section of just waiting for bombs to go off. They have quite a big hitbox. So jumping over them is not something that I find I can do. But now I need R4, unfortunately. Look at how slow droids are. Oh dear. But unfortunately I need to use R4 in this section. Right, I can use Obi-Wan for a bit here. I would like to shout out Lord Magecar. He's found out so much that we can do in this game, including cutscene skips. I actually do like cutscene skips in a non-sadistic way. I think they're really cool pieces of tech, because you have to know exactly when they all are, and then you have to be good at the pausing stuff. But unfortunately I'm not doing so well today. Alright, Jango is a much easier boss because he doesn't have a lightsaber. There is still a chance I can die though, because after the third hit, the ship will start shooting at me. So I'm probably just gonna like keep using my lightsaber to try and deflect any of these bullets, or blaster bolts I guess. Yeah, I'm on 1 heart. Might die here. And he's gonna run away, but... Oh, that was a really early hit in the attack. So that's Jango taken care of. This cutscene is a little bit long again. But yes, I was going to mention Magecar in this level, actually, because there is a way that you can skip that Jango fight. Nobody has done it RTA, to my understanding. And of course, it was something that Magecar found. Magecar often will drop these random knowledge bombs on us, and we're like, alright, Magecar. For example, he's even found a way to skip the Room of Pointlessness in story mode. Okay. So, heading into the Droid Factory. Just enjoying these wonderful animations. Unfortunately, they don't have the really funny knocking on the door joke that they had on PC and console. So now we're inside. I have Anakin in this level. I can jump slam that container and not actually lose any forward momentum, because if you land on a container like that during a double jump, like Super Jedi Slam, you won't actually have your animation of being stuck on the ground as you would if you were in most situations. There are fans here that you're supposed to use to get height, but I can just double jump on top of them when they're on the wall. Right, this room's a little bit tricky. Here I am gonna buffer and then double jump while I'm sort of in the air. Hello, Anakin, where are you at, bud? I kinda need you right now. Well, there you are. The AI is a little bit funky on this track, but they can kind of just warp over there to you. For example, right here, I'm gonna look back. Oh yeah, there's Padme. There's no way she could have got here. But I need to do that so that hopefully she'll cross over here sooner, and she did. She was good in the second section. In this room, I can simply jump up here. No grapple character required. Oh, Padme, you tried to follow me. Oh yeah, oops, hey. Thumb pad swapping sometimes is a bit unresponsive. I should also mention, the first trick I did in a speedrun was actually like 1 second in, and I'm doing it the most, and it's called using the touchscreen whenever I have to use the Force. You can press A, but you will lose like minutes throughout the run if you use the A button. Alright, I'm gonna play it safe with this one. As long as I have my partner on R2, then I'll be able to use the C-3PO panel here. Because for some reason, if I don't do that swap... Oh, I got shot. If I don't do that swap, my partner will want to be C-3PO, and sometimes they'll warp across to meet you, but not always. Dang, you killed me twice. They're really rough in this area today. Now I got a free Obi-Wan. Okay. To be honest, this cutscene's when I rarely skip as well. It is really short as well, and incredibly hard to time because you have to wait for so long. Unfortunately, though, our next level is Jedi Battle. I don't think anyone really likes this, but it's already been confirmed for the Skywalker Saga, so there better be tons of speedrun potential in that game. For this level specifically as well. Look at these wonderful, like, 1 frame a second animations that Mace Windu has there. At least the main levels play well. So to start off with, it's just Mace Windu and R2-D2. So I don't have a partner to help me pull these switches here. Takes a little bit of time. So each phase, I'm gonna free up one of my friends from the pillar. First up is Padme. And I keep pulling these switches and defeating enemies. And after the second round of enemies, after pulling the switches, I can then free my friend using the Force. So now we got Padme in the party. Now let's go free Anakin. And I can animation cancel these switches now that I have an extra character in my party to swap to. Of course, I could have let Padme pull that. And in this case, I actually do want to, so I can, in the meantime, run over to the left where the enemies will spawn. So I do, of course, want to know exactly where the enemies will spawn in, so I can do things like that to optimize it. Alright, Anakin. You're free. Alright. Let's deal with this Droideka and some more Geonosians. These Droidekas over here are a bit interesting, because in free play, you can do a weird thing with a detonator to take out only 2 of them in slow progress, but I can't quite figure out how to do that in story mode. But I'm going to use Zelda Cube's Droideka strat from 1-1 again here. Ah, I keep swapping the wrong way. I didn't even get this one, so I messed it up a little bit. Now the switches are finally going to appear. There's a lot of shooting in the background because it's Jedi Battle. I'm going to use Padme to take out these battle droids, just because it's faster to shoot them. If I get too close, she will try to punch them, and I don't want that because it's slow. I keep swapping the wrong way. Oh, he's Anakin. Of course. Of course my partner's Anakin. I should have known that. How did that other one get taken out there? That Geonosian back there? I'm not sure. The Droideka took me out. Mace, are you even hitting that Droideka? Alright, now we've freed all 3 of our friends. We just need to take out a couple more Geonosians. Am I gonna character swap the right way once today? I actually do want to be Obi-Wan here. And then I'm gonna switch to Padme. This is the last set of enemies. We've got 8 Geonosians to take out. Shoot them all, nice and quick. Alright. Really not having any luck with the cutscene skips. So here's Django again. And I want to be Obi-Wan for this just because I'm much more familiar with how he hits Django, 2-2-2-1. And for that reason, it's like easier for me to hopefully time the cutscene skip at the end of this level, but we haven't been very good at that at all today. Did you just miss? Ah, well, I missed the cutscene skip too. That was a little odd how we missed the hit on Django there. I think I might retire my cutscene skipping abilities at the end of this run, if it keeps going like this. Zelda Cubed in second place in any percent, definitely the best cutscene skipper we have in this game. The first player to get 16 out of 16 of the ones we'd usually go for. There are a possible 18 that you can get, and pretty much now it's at the stage where you would want to go for all of them. My PB/record in any percent gets 16 out of 17 that I attempted. Alright. Horrible level. Another ship level. There's going to be a lot of explosion sounds. I do need to take out these little blue... I don't know, are they energy nodes or something? I feel like I heard that once. Need to take out all 8 of them to get through this force field. Now, in the second room, I'm actually going to take a detour. Because you've seen I've been collecting studs. I said I wanted about 90,000, or at least 90,000 by the end of episode 2. The reason for that is I'm going to take a detour to pick up a red power brick. It'll take a minute out of the level, but it is going to save much more than a minute later on. So I need this torpedo back here, and I need to save this to the very end of the level. This is not usually a level where you'd get torpedoes, but the red power brick at the end does require you to have torpedoes with you. And of course, speaking of torpedoes, the extra that I'm going to be buying is infinite torpedoes. Just because it can take so much time to get torpedoes in the later levels. And you can only carry 3 at once. And sometimes there's just a lot of targets to destroy. Now I'm going to blow up these launch bases. Got another one after this, but at the top of the next one, that's where I'll be going to pick up our red power brick. I did already pick one up in the pod race level, but that's just for unlocking a minigame, which I don't need, so I'm only going to be buying infinite torpedoes. Explosions. Alright. There we go, that's a red power brick. I did, in fact, lose a run the other day to forgetting my torpedo. Or, not forgetting, but losing it during the level. Man, I'm not getting any one-frame pauses, and I think I'm just getting on the really unlucky patterns of frames. Oh well. It is time to be trained in the arts of Jedi by Count Dooku. and have some peace and quiet for just a moment. Right, I think I should be doing okay on studs. I do, of course, have one more safety blue in this room. Get an extra 1,000 in there. But I should be pretty good. I should be at over 90,000 before the beginning of this level, honestly. I need to wait for Obi-Wan to go up there so I can get up here. And it is important for me to switch to Anakin now for a couple reasons. I won't spoil it, though. In this room, wait for the room transition. 1. I'm just hitting all the inputs wrong. There is a consistent setup for that cutscene skip, which is waiting for the room transition and then buffering 3 times. Dooku we actually can cheese a little bit, just because he has this animation where he falls down, and during that time, he can't like defend himself when he gets back up. And the hitbox from you doing a single jump slam like that lasts for a long time, so we can use that to our advantage. I would like to skip this really long cutscene if you don't mind. And it does mind. Damn, I have not had a run this poor on cutscene skips probably ever. Like even when we were just mashing start. It used to be that we would just mash start and hope for the best. Hey, it's Yoda! Alright, Yoda's the big surprise I wasn't spoiling for you. We're not really going to see it too much in this level, but Yoda goes zoom. And switching to Anakin as early as I did means that in the cantina, I will get to use Yoda to save a little bit of time on movement through there in between levels. Whoops. Four more hits. Judging by how cutscene skips is going... Yeah. Man, I didn't even get the first one. The thing is, though, at the end of each episode, other than episode 1, there are 2 cutscenes, and you can actually get a double cutscene skip if you get back-to-back frame-perfect poses. But yeah, I was just thinking, considering how it's been going so far, it's pretty unlikely that I'll get a double here. But there is going to be a black screen that we'll see in between the cutscenes here. And in that time, you can hold start, and that way you can just skip the second cutscene. Alright, so as I mentioned, Yoda goes zoom, 98,000 studs. We had more than enough. And you really don't have to go too out of your way to get studs. Alright, here I am buying that extra from the red power brick we got in Gunship Cavalry. And don't worry, we'll see Yoda in a little bit. He's got some wonderful levels in episode 3. They are very hard levels, but also some of the coolest Yoda levels. Alright, this level is another ship level, and it benefits massively from having infinite torpedoes. Honestly, in this level alone, it probably saves time already to get infinite torpedoes. But we can also use it to our advantage in later levels. And it also makes the level really, really short. Because you can just skip everything, really. Because now all I have to do is shoot down this target and throw 2 more torpedoes. Hey, I got a cutscene skip. Finally. Alright, so that cutscene that I skipped there actually skips the whole sequence. Because, you know the level Chancellor in Peril you might from PC and console? That level's entirely in that cutscene. So we skipped Dooku's death. I guess this game doesn't acknowledge Dooku after after we dealt with him in the end of episode 2 there. Okay, but this is Grievous, and Grievous sucks. I did mention earlier that fighting lightsaber bosses with Obi-Wan is annoying, and it just so happens that we're forced to fight the worst one with Obi-Wan. I've got Commander Cody with me, but blaster characters cannot deal damage because their blaster bolts will just be deflected. While I was jumping away, though, like this, I need to shoot the boxes and it'll take damage. Cody, where are you at? Why are you stuck there? I kind of need you right now. The joys of the AI partner. Obi-Wan's stuck there too. What the heck? No, come back. Come back. Okay, this is a strange point for the AI to get stuck, I'll be honest with you. And Grievous pushed me off. Wonderful. I don't think I've ever been fighting Grievous that far to the left in a speedrun. Oh, wait, no, I still need Obi-Wan, because I had to do my sequences a little bit out of order. Follow me, please. Oh, you're going up there now, are you? Right, follow me. Come up the stairs. I don't hear him going up the stairs. Ah, Cody. Cody, Cody, Cody. They're literally right there. What's so hard about it? Look. Now Obi-Wan's gonna follow, of course. Alright, 2 more hits. And if I can get the cutscene skip at the end, that'll skip Cody's death, so that's fun. Although I can't seem to get a hit on Grievous, because lightsaber bosses with Obi-Wan. And I skipped Cody's death. Alright, let's keep cutscene skips going this way, please. Alright, so this is my favorite level in the speedrun, because it's pretty much just like free play in most aspects. Except you do have a couple of cutscene skips to do. And Yoda goes zoom. And also these bridge hitboxes are still there even when the bridges aren't down. So I'm doing attack, 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 jump for optimal movement. That's another cutscene skip. Lovely, lovely. 3 in a row. It's finally picking up. So this is just such a cool Yoda movement level, and going fast in this game with Yoda, free play is my favorite category, and we pick Yoda for most of the levels. Honestly, it's one of the best feelings I've ever had, being able to go really fast in this game. This is my favorite speed game that I've picked up so far. Alright. So Yoda can actually do a couple of extra things too. His attacks, as you can see, give him distance and also a bit of air boost, and you can still double jump out of that because he's a Jedi character. But with 2 attacks there, you can even do a quad jump, and that's a really, really tricky jump, a lot harder than it looks, because there is an invisible wall there that you actually have to go under with Yoda. So you have to not keep too much height, but also not lose too much height, otherwise you won't make it over the gate. And Yoda has one other trick as well that he can do, as we'll see right here. This is a bit of a tricky one. And we got it, first try. Lovely stuff. So now I just need to make the rocket appear. So that door clip that I did, let me see if I can get this cutscene skip first. Nope. Oh well. This is a short one, and we got 3 in a row. So that door clip, we're going to be seeing a lot in this next level, because we've got Yoda again. It's not free. You don't just spam attack and hope to go through, because that would be annoying and inconsistent. His attack patterns come in sets of 3s, that's why I'm doing a jump after every 3rd attack. And the second attack you need to land diagonal to the door, and the 3rd one, within 10 frames of the attack button, hold straight into the door. You have 10 frames, actually, to do that 3rd attack input, or that 3rd directional input after the 3rd attack. Which is the case for doors like this, which I just tried to go from a long distance, so I didn't get it, but that's okay. But angles and what's it called? Narrow spaces make it much harder to work with. I did mess up this jump a little bit because I was trying to talk about door clips, but that jump's also quite hard because you need to get a maximum height boost from Yoda's 3rd attack in the cycle, and then double jump up there. But you also need to get that 3rd attack on one of those little rubble piles. Nice door clip there. That one's relatively easy. Plenty of space to work with. The one at the end of this room, though, not very much space to work with. A lot of people have trouble starting out with this door clip. I like to try and take it a little bit slower, but I'm not getting the right diagonal input. Okay. Could be a lot worse. Alright. Huh. So that's the last of the cutscenes that's like kind of weird timing. You have to wait a long time for it to be skippable. There's a lot of those in episodes 2 and 3. Unfortunately, we did not skip finding out about Order 66. I'm going to take a drink. We do indeed have time for a few hydrations in this speedrun. Alright, Obi-Wan and Anakin, they're going to have a little bit of a fight here, but now they're going to work together as the planet explodes. Just going to run to the right. Nothing too much here. Now this room is exploding, and it's only going to give me 49 seconds to get out of here. Hey, what's up, Baron? Another LEGO runner in the chat who's going to be running LEGO Racers later today. Don't apologize for being late. Don't worry. Now here, I got a 34-second time, which is not good, but I can just use the collision of that pillar to slide me through that door. And a bit of a tight double jump that I did just there. This room, it's very important for me not to die, because I will be going for a really cool skip at the end of the level. Where I'm not going to be fighting the boss if I can help it. Land on the edge of this rock, and around we go. And Anakin's also over here, but because I didn't get the room transition, he's not going to attack me. And I can just kill him like that. This cutscene, I do not actually skip usually, just because the second of the double is so much longer. For example, the first cutscene in that double is 9 seconds. The second is almost 50. So in most situations, we like to skip the second one and just take a small time loss on the first. Although my any percent run does get both. Right, my preferred order is to do episode 6 first because it's harder, but Marathon Showcase, why not do them in chronological order? The original trilogy here does have much longer cutscenes, much harder levels in general, not just episode 6. Even episode 4 is quite a bit harder. So I do, of course, hope you've been enjoying the run. It's not gonna get any less enjoyable, I'm sure. We haven't quite finished half of the run time-wise, but we have finished half of the levels. Currently, my record is a 146, and it gets 33 out of a possible 52 cutscene skips. But, you know, being consistent with that is always going to be difficult. My sum of best is a sub 140 by now, though. Alright, so secret plans. This is actually the one level where I found a skip in free play where you can jump out of bounds in this room right to the end. It's the one skip that I found. For now, we're going to have to deal with the full level in story mode, though. And I need to shoot 12 of these stormtroopers. And then this door will open. We can't quite skip this platform, unfortunately. The thing about the original trilogy is that a lot of the time you don't have any double jump characters. So platforming skips are much harder that way. Hey look, it's Darth Vader. Oh yeah, sometimes you can pull these switches and Tilly's just won't help you out. You'll get distracted by something. Right, now that I have both of these out, I only need to shoot one, and then they both explode. Vader runs away. Alright. So this is a couple of block pushes. We don't like pushing blocks, they are slow. We can't skip them in this room, but we will get some really epic block push skips coming up. Right now I need 3PO. Bit later on that cutscene skip. It just isn't my day for that. Yeah, I didn't actually pick up R2 from that. This room's a little challenging, because the enemies are annoying. Probably going to take some deaths. And I have Antilles and 2 other droids. Okay, I'm dead, but that's okay. But the droid management is really difficult and, well, annoying. My split for this level says annoying droid management, because you got to use them at different times. So I only needed R2 for those. C-3PO is actually right here, which is nice. But because droids are so slow, I want to be not using them wherever I can, like in between the panels. That was a good cutscene skip, though, because that is quite a long cutscene. As I said, we got some much longer cutscenes than the original trilogy to deal with. Utini, yeah. So, we're on Tatooine now. Buying some droids. I think I just heard a knock at my door. Someone tell him I'm speedrunning. Alright. So I want to switch to Ben right away, because this is one of those rare moments when we get to use a Jedi, a double jumping character, and we can skip quite a few things like this. That's not a huge skip there, to be fair, but a time save is a time save, isn't it? I would like to just use one of these platforms here, because with that tiny height boost I can then get up like that. It's that life RNG, yeah. Unfortunately I do need to force this box before I can do any of these platforms, but I can avoid pulling that switch, because Luke cheats anyway, but also I don't even need him to come up. That switch would only help Luke to get here. Because the two switches on top of the sandcrawler, they seem to just stay pulled for a really long time, so I don't need both characters. And now we're going to get pulled up into the sandcrawler. Nothing much to say here. I have to do this 5 times. It's the only way to get the door open. We have tried desperately to get above there, that door, but we can't. Here, though, hey, I can get R2 without a block push. There we go. That's one of our epic block push skips. Bit of a filler room here, really. Luckily, there aren't too many filler rooms in this game, but this one's a little unnecessary because nothing happens in it. But here's where we get C-3PO. While my partner is pulling the other switch, I build a C-3PO panel so it's ready for him. And here, I'm gonna be... Yep, that worked. Alright, so on that one, you can't quite make with a well-spaced double jump as I did on the second one. But on the first one, I had to fly with R2 and then do a character swap to like reset my momentum, give me a tiny height boost, and that way I was able to make it across a gap that I shouldn't have been able to. You're not really supposed to make it across that with a double jump either, but spacing double jumps like that makes it possible to cross pretty much any gap that an astromech droid such as R2 usually would. And in the words of Jinjairu, who found this, you can abuse buggy level geometry to pull that switch before you're meant to. Ah. Well, now Luke finds out he's a Jedi. We didn't get the Jedi Luke skip. Oh, what a face. Oh yeah, this cutscene just has a lot of long faces, and like, so little is actually animated. Ben almost dies, it's great. Look at how happy he is. So we're now going to find out who shot first between Han and Greedo. Although we might skip that too. I mean, I'm hoping we will, but as I've been shown this run, I can't really hope for much in the way of cutscene skips. It looks like he's using the Force on his own head there. His stormtrooper friends don't even care. That poor Jawa. Who the heck is that? Alright, once again, unfortunately player 1 doesn't start as Ben, so we'll just switch to Ben straight away. This saves a little bit more time doing it this way. Oh, if I can get up. Just jump up here. That lets us open the door with C-3PO much earlier. There we go, I got a cutscene skip. I could tell by it swapping my character. Because now we have Han and Chewie instead. I'm okay with 2 hearts here, but I cannot drop down to 1. Otherwise I'm going to be having some problems. Because of a trick coming up here, which is skipping another block push. Alright. So where's Chewie at? There you are. I'm going to get Han to line up right here. Shoot Han, and Han is just pushed barely through the door, and the loading zone is right there on the other side. So that skips that room. Here I'm going to skip yet another long block push with a simple jump. Off of this bin here, around the outside. This block, I mean, I can't skip pushing that one, but it's much shorter than the other one. The other ones that I already skipped in this level. Right, so at the end of this level, all I'm doing is shooting the control panels, I guess, that are on the side of this, on these doors so that the stormtroopers can't spawn, and then the Imperial spy is going to jump down, and he's not going to put up a big fight. All I have to do is shoot him like a couple times. I guess I'm going to stick to punching him instead, and he's dead. There's my Falcon. And got both cutscene skips in that level. Probably could have been a gold split, to be honest, because I'd had a really quick door boost there. I'm not actually running against my splits for this run, though, because I do the levels in a slightly different order. This is over a minute long of an intro cutscene, so refill your water if you need it. Take some time. It'll be okay. You won't really miss much. However, this level is actually meant to be really quite long, and yet we skip so much in this level. We even have a cutscene skip, which allows us to keep all the characters we had at the beginning until the end of the level, which isn't supposed to be the case. Here comes the Falcon. And nobody notices anything, I suppose. The mighty Darth Vader. Alright, and out they go. Alright, so right off the bat, I'm going to be going for a frame-perfect ceiling clip here. Through we go, and hold back a little bit, and I got put back in the same room. I didn't avoid the loading zone there. This time we got put in the right one. And that is the cutscene skip, and we now have all the characters until the end of the level, and because I have a double jump character here, I can jump on top of here, and then jump towards the camera, land on this invisible ledge for absolutely no reason. Fly towards the camera again with R2, and get put in that loading zone, and that skips 5 minutes, I want to say. We skip rescuing the princess entirely, so because of that, that trick is called princessless. To be honest, I don't know if it's as much as 5 minutes, but this level feels really long casually, so that's what I'm going to say. It skips a lot of time, though. Either way, you get it. So now we're just making the Falcon escape from the force field again by activating all these switches and buttons and whatnot. Oh, that's cute. This guy wants to shoot me. Okay, didn't quite get the Ben's death skip. Hey, look. Wait, no. Why is Vader raving as well? And off they go. I have a good emote on my channel. It's called Laser No, and it's the face that Luke pulls when he finds out that Vader is his father. Good old mods in the chat being heroes right now. Shoutouts to the mods. Shoutouts to SpeedGaming. All year round, putting on all the wonderful tournaments. And right now we've got a fun showcase of loads and loads of games. This is my favorite speed game of all time, as I've already mentioned, and after this I'll be running my second favorite speed game of all time. Alright, with infinite torpedoes, this level is a breeze, really quite easy. Because I can just shoot the torpedo targets without having to go to the generators. Alright, so we're coming up to the end of episode 4 here. 2/3 of the episodes will be done at the end of this. Usually in this room we would have to take 2 trips back to the torpedo generator, because there are 4 targets and you can only carry 3 at once. But also on 80% we have the skip where we'd want to carry a torpedo through at the end of the trench section. But again, infinite torpedoes makes that completely, well, irrelevant, easy, I want to say. So in this section, I actually will get boosted forward by these bullets and not lose any time from dying. Pretty cool. But there is a cutscene skip at the end of this trench, and in all levels where I don't have to worry about taking damage, I can count the hearts to the side. After 4 hearts and then 8 studs, 8 rows of studs, that's when the cutscene skips will be. So I think that's 3 hearts there. Five, 6, 7, 8. Was that early? Might have been a bit early. Yeah, this setup was only one that I was... I actually picked it up yesterday on a bit of a whim. So that setup's pretty new to me. I usually just did my any percent setup of not taking damage during the chase. But that's okay. We've got a chance for another double coming up, so we'll see if I can get it. Nope, didn't even get the first one. But at least we can get the easier second one. Ha ha ha. Ah! This is a pretty good cutscene, to be fair. And away they go. Four episodes down. Not exactly the smoothest ride so far. But we're getting the job done. Still definitely on pace to finish Underestimate. Another very long cutscene here. Unfortunately, we don't have intro cutscene skips. If you go into the level and pause in the last frame, you have control there. All that'll happen is that you'll start the level paused. So, not a time save at all. But this level is quite cool because it actually has... it It actually has a really neat out-of-bounds trick that we don't see on any other of our ship levels that we have so far. A similar one is possible in Speeder Showdown, which we haven't seen yet, but it's really only viable in TAS, because there's a lot of random elements you have to be aware of. Say hi to this guy before he gets brutally shot by the walker. Damn, the mustache fell off and everything. Alright, here's Hoth Battle. Out of bounds at the beginning is a little bit tricky. But I want to try and get backwards momentum to pull this walker towards me. Didn't quite work the first time. Yeah, alright. Because I died and I trailed torpedoes, that meant that the walker exploded at the end too. He's right by the fence now. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Oh, the probe droid's really in the way. That's annoying. That probe droid ruined everything. So there is a little bit of randomness in this trick, unfortunately. What? He just went through the wall. Right, you come here. You come here. You come here. You come here. Come here. I should be able to pull you with me. Because, like, this backwards velocity, like... Yeah. Alright, this trick hasn't gone this badly in a little while, but that's okay, because we can keep trying it over. I really want to show this trick off for you guys. Really cool trick. Don't see it anywhere else. Right. There we go. Facing backwards, we can build up, like, negative velocity. Are you stuck? Are you really stuck? Why are you stuck? I can't do the trick here. Right, that's a new one. Come here. Alright. Don't get stuck, please. Thank you. Finally, now we can use our tow cable to wrap around like that, and then, because he was right in that corner, we will just be put right into the wall here. And now I'm going to keep barrel rolling to the left and completely skip the second room of the level and fly straight into the door. So this is actually the third room where we have to battle the lovely, lovely RNG and defeat 20 probe droids, which appear in pretty much random places. The walkers that we have to take down, luckily they are consistent, but don't have very many probe droids that have spawned in so far. 8 isn't bad. No, there's another one. 11. Okay, that's pretty good. There's another walker right here. And there was a probe droid hiding behind. Five more, if you don't mind, game. 3 more? I reckon you can do 3 more. Just 1 more. Oh, there's one. Where'd you go? There you are. Kind of lost it in the rocks there. And a lovely cutscene skip. That one's quite a long cutscene. Good one to get. Good one to get skipped. Especially after how trolled I got trying to get out of bounds there. So Echo Base is being destroyed, and we should escape, I guess. Sounds logical to me. Right, I don't need to blow up this rock barrier here. I can just jump over it off of that container. This is not the epic block push level, unfortunately. There are not very many epic block pushes that we can skip in this one, I'm afraid. Right, we need C-3PO. Need to free him from the ice. Okay, I guess I didn't finish building the bomb. I'm probably gonna die here, though. Because they're shooting me and I'm gonna pull this switch. How am I alive? Genuinely, how am I alive, sir? Let's free C-3PO. Should have been good enough. Yep, and then the screen turns black because it's trying to show an event cutscene from the other room, but it's just saying that we got C-3PO, so now we can use him. Use the fan to get some height. Wonderful Lego charm right there. There's something in my eye, but that's okay, because all I'm doing right now is pushing a block. The snowtroopers here can shoot you, and you can die mid-block push, as you see right there. It's not terribly unlikely. I'm just not yet fully aware of a strat an IL runner Justin found. Where the snowtroopers don't actually shoot at you during the block push. Alright. Shooting down these icicles for platforms. Preferably not punching, because that does lose time over shooting. Dang, there really is something in my eye. Oh well. Well, there's more block pushes, so probably not good to rub my eyes, but I want to see if I can find what's in there and move it out. Feels okay at the moment. And hey, more block pushes either way. Okay, I would really like to not have one heart here, though, because that is how I found a soft lock during my Legothon run. There we go. That's better. I actually wanted to be shot there. Right, now I'm going to try and, there we go, land up on that switch with 3PO, swap back to Han to jump around like that, get the panel early, and then we can swap through the force field back to Leia, and we don't need both characters. Another cutscene skip. Not too bad. Doing the galaxy a service. Alright, Falcon Punch. I'm sorry, Falcon Flight. With infinite torpedoes again, kind of a breeze. It shows us the Star Destroyers, kind of like there would be on PC and console, but there is no Star Destroyer section. So instead the TIE fighters are just going to chase us through the asteroids. Explosions are going to be a thing as I fly through, because I kind of do need to make sure I'm shooting the asteroids so that they're out of my path, not in my way. There is a funny thing in this level where no one knows quite how one of the mini-kits works. So, in Collectible Rush, I've never been able to do this level in one try. Because of the mystery mini-kit. My theory is that mystery mini-kit has something to do with shooting all parts of an asteroid in the first section of the level. Now, timing cutscenes in levels like this are interesting, because if you don't take any damage, you do get a mini-kit for each room, and the mini-kit at the end of the level can be a good indicator on when you should attempt a cutscene skip. But unfortunately, I went from 4 hearts down to 1, down to none even. The TIE fighters were just kind of brutal, even though I was shooting at them. So I'm not going to have a queue on this level. That'll be okay, though. I still got it. Still got the cutscene skip there. Although just as I looked over at OBS, I was dropping a couple frames. Bit of a shame. Sorry about that. My internet isn't the best thing in the world. Although apparently it's the best in the area, so what can you do, right? Alright, Dagobah. And of course this is Yoda's planet, so we're gonna get some more Yoda for the last time in the run. Unless we run into him in the cantina. We don't have Yoda for the whole level, because we have to get to his hut first. So it's a little bit slow in the beginning, because we've got Luke and R2. And unfortunately, I do have to build these little ramps for R2 to get up. Now, if I'm lucky, I will get R2 to just... No, he's flying already. I do like that idea, Baron. Alright. Fortunately, we don't have to go slowly for too much longer. Because here we have Yoda's hut. Cutscenes! And we got the skip. 4 for 4 in the skip so far in this level. Although the skip at the end of this level I don't think will ever be done RTA just because of the nature of it. But one last opportunity for Yoda to go zoom. And a bit of a quadruple jump here. 2 attacks, 2 jumps over that gap. And some more door clips here. These look like really thick doors, but you can just clip through them with regular door clips still. Shemcat's probably going to yell at me later for doing that with the bush. Because Shemcat is another top-level runner of this game. Who's been really competitive with me in free play and any percent in the past. And yeah, because that cutscene skip happens so much, like immediately after that door clip there, we skip the Dream Vader fight, but right after the door clip, you're focusing on the door clip inputs, and my thumb can't go from the Y button where attack is to the start button where pause is quickly enough. But because I've never once got this cutscene skip before, and without playing on emulator or some weird modified controller, I don't think this will be done yet. I'm still going to say we've done perfect cutscenes this episode so far. But the last level we're going to play is long, and it has 4 cutscenes that we could skip. Four cutscene skips is more cutscene skips than I got, like, almost in the entire prequels. So, we're improving. We're improving. Oh yeah, that shot there is kind of terrifying of C-3PO. Oh no! Vader, how did you get here? It is a bit sad that this game doesn't give us any opportunities to play as Han frozen in the carbonite. It is what it is. They gave us infinite jumping and Yoda going zoom, so I'm happy with that. So a very long level. It combines both Betrayal over Bespin and Cloud City Trap. So it starts off in Bespin, and then we will cut away to Luke fighting with Vader. Bit of a character swap double jump there. Boba's RNG. and he spawned on the other side of the room, which is annoying. He never really seems to attack you, which is odd, but he attacks your speed with wherever he spawns. And wherever he flies to as well. Gonna chase him down. And because after I fight Vader, I'm gonna be back here, I actually can do a bit of a manipulation early on by shooting those stormtroopers. It is actually quite important for later on. Now I'm gonna swap to Lando. I'm gonna jump off the edge. I'm gonna miss the cutscene skip, but trust me, that death with Lando is another skip for later. Really cool skip. Another one found by Magecar, so much was. I haven't shouted him out on absolutely every strat he's done, but most of the stuff in this run he found, to be honest with you. The biggest strat in this run that he didn't find is definitely the Princessless one we did while escaping the Death Star. Jump across. Gonna take an intentional death to save a couple frames because droid movement is just that slow, and the way respawning works is that it'll put me on the other side. Unfortunately, I have to endure slow droid movement for this room because there's a panel at the end, so changing to Luke won't add anything. Alright, this is going to give me a helmet here, because I need to use an Imperial panel at the end of this first Vader fight. But if I take a hit with this helmet on, I lose it, so I need to make sure I don't take a hit in this fight. Got a cool backup strat to show you if I do. But for speed, I like to keep my helmet. Each phase, every 2 hits, Vader jumps away to one of these circles, and then we're going to try to freeze him as R2. And we can try to get a free hit when he jumps back to the middle with another jump slam, which wouldn't usually work. He's jumped to a bad spot because now Luke's going to go near and he'll jump away. I think he went to the left side as well, which isn't good. We'd like him to end on the right side so that we have less movement. That's a tricky double jump, so I like to buffer that one. Just get slightly over the edge with a lightsaber. But yes, so that was Vader 1. And for Vader 2, the boss decides that if Luke can get over here, then the boss must be dead. So now we're on to Vader 3. Usually you can get 2 hits right off the bat, but I don't think I was quick enough, unfortunately. Another buffered double jump over here. This is the last Vader fight. He's blocking quite a few of my hits right now. At the end of this, though, I got the cutscene skip, hey! So remember when I died as Lando? I stored his invincibility frames through the entire Luke and Vader fight section that way, and that way he can just walk across the electric floor. Here's another case of not needing to get the shield down for that switch. Ah, this box sometimes likes to not break, but C-3PO's in there. So now we have 3PO. And shooting the stormtroopers at the beginning of the level means... Ooh, whoa, 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 what was that? What was that? So I told you something new happens every time I run all levels. Alright. Anyway, I need the helmet, and shooting the stormtroopers helped me not get shot during that phase. Shooting them at the beginning of the level, I mean, because that way they don't spawn again. And right here is another Lord Magecar special. One of the coolest tricks we have, for sure. I'm going to edge towards the camera a little bit here. A little bit too much there. It's a very difficult setup. This setup makes things a little bit easier, and it was found by Beta Anang. Oh, I forgot to... Did I? Honestly, I think I did. I don't know. Can I walk through this door? Yes, I can. Okay. That means I did everything right. I unloaded the door. And I got a double! Hey! I got a double cutscene skip. So that's a double frame perfect pause with that. I was worried I did the trick a bit wrong, but yeah, I have to character swap once I improperly load another room from out of bounds. And that, like, stores properties from the room that I shouldn't be in, and certain objects in the main room are unloaded like that door, and you can just walk through straight to the end of the level. A very strange trick, a unique one that we have. It's the only case of us that I can think of using improper loads in story mode. But improper loads are kind of a big thing with infinite jump skips and free play. Infinite jumping is really easy to do, but the skips we do in free play are not. Alright, Darth Vader is going to scold his crew a little bit, and I'm going to take this chance to have another little drink. So Jabba's Palace is really long. This level combines Jabba's Palace and the Great Pit of Carkoon, or Sarlacc Pit. It's also the only level to have a double cutscene in the middle of a level that isn't like at the end of an episode. Because I guess in between Jabba's Palace and the Great Pit of Carkoon, there are 2 cutscenes, and they didn't combine it into one. But yeah, these Gamorrean or Gamorrean guards, however you say it, I can't remember which is actually accurate, are really annoying because you cannot defeat them without taking damage. It's usually 2 hearts, but yeah, because they're so annoying, it's really just so useful to shut off their spawners. Because now I have the helmet, which will let me use bounty hunter panels. But I'm going to try and keep this helmet until the end of this section. So now I'm going to swap to my partner and then change characters to Luke, free these droids, and now my partner has the helmet. So if I take damage with the helmet on, I lose the helmet. But my partner can keep the helmet if they are going to take damage, fortunately. Bit of an unusual death. Not a big deal, though. Because deaths don't cost time. And that is actually something I did want to mention. People think because deaths are not costly in LEGO games are easy to speedrun. They absolutely are not. It's not just cutscene skips in this game. There's a lot else that makes them difficult. Most of the PC and console games, you're going to have to handle 2 controllers at once to get a top time. But yes, so hopefully my partner still has their bounty hunter helmet. It looks like they do. Oh, nice, I got the mid-level double as well. Cutscene skips are finally getting into their groove in this run. They took a long time to show up. I had a really, really dry prequels. But finally it's working much better. So here's Baba again. There's another cutscene here, and I skipped it. I finally got into the groove of buffering frame perfectly. I can get away with only getting this middle platform out there. And over we go. Got to take this grapple pad up here, but then I can have a small out-of-bounds clip by landing on the edge of that switch and jumping through the wall like that. And this is the only point in story mode when you have 7 characters in your party, but all I need is Luke to double jump up here. And... oh, I just barely missed it. I was a little bit too late on that one. And this is a long cutscene, unfortunately. Had I got all the cutscene skips, this probably would have been a gold split, if I had to guess. But I'm not racing against splits because I'm doing chronological episode order for you today. And I usually do 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4. However, it is a bit of a risk not doing 6 last, even though 6 is definitely the hardest to run in story mode. It's a risk because there is a known common crash during the final cutscene of the final level. So, yeah, in this run for a marathon, if it crashes during that cutscene, it's fine. The run will already be over. It won't matter. Speeder showdown here. Bad level. Yeah, so these chase sections, I'm just focusing on hopefully not dying, although actually I rarely do. Took a little bit of damage there. Alright, so then we've got our second section, which is, I don't know, kind of like your regular ship level, I guess. Ship levels in this game, I haven't mentioned this yet, but ship levels in this game are not actually available in free play. They're story only, so the free play runs get to skip over these levels. I'm kind of okay with taking that death, because that means they'll have full health to go into the chase. And hopefully not die in this section too. Oh yes, if you're a little bit confused about what's happening here, I am on the bottom screen right now. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that until this point in the run. But yeah, for ship levels, while I am going forwards, that's a death, unfortunately. But for ship levels, while I'm going forwards, I am controlling on the bottom screen, but also having to be aware of what's coming on the top screen as well. And then for the end of this level, what I can do is get past this one and then just turn around and shoot these from behind. So then I have to take out fewer things, and also there's less of a risk of getting shot. Alright, Endor is one of my favorite levels in free play. Unfortunately in story mode, there's a lot of extra stuff that doesn't need to be there. But, fortunately, one of the most recent additions we've had in free play, you can actually do it a certain way in story mode. You're going to see that in the second room. So, that'll be a fun one. Before we get that, just running through the woods with Wicket here. Wicket the Ewok. Character swapping to cut out on the animation time coming out of that travel chute. I always aim to do this level without hearing Wicket's death sound. It's really horrible. But yeah, that was a nice platform skip there. Alright, so right here. So that was something interesting that happened right there. You're meant to build get this elevator to come up here, but by killing your partner and then swapping to them, and on the same frame changing your character, you can store their invincibility frames from being dead, which is like a different way of storing invincibility frames to just like taking damage. And then you can get past the death barrier and save, like, I want to say 30 seconds in story mode almost. Well, maybe not quite that much. It's at least 20, though. Okay, so right here I need to get both me and my partner up this ledge here with a character swap height boost, and by shooting the enemies that means that my partner won't get too distracted and they'll actually stay up on that ledge. Unfortunately, I only have one heart, and the game isn't letting me character swap. Alright, I was saying unfortunately I only had one heart because I needed to go through that travel chute as Wicket, and if I got shot, that would mean we'd hear Wicket's death sound, but fortunately we avoided getting shot as Wicket there. Now we need to get into the base. So it's going to be a handy dandy R2 panel here. Into the base we go. Still got like 2.5 minutes left. Because in free play you can just clip through all the doors straight to the end of the level. Unfortunately, we've got to play the level as normal right now, and it is a little bit of a drag. So I need to step on these buttons to get these platforms to come out. But I don't need the third one because I can just step on those grates there. Fly across with R2. C-3PO panel. Pull this switch. Simple stuff. Oop. Swap the wrong way. Don't want to be a droid. Droids are slow. Certainly for speedruns, they're not the droids we're looking for, I can tell you that. Okay. Miss the target like that. Why don't you? Now we'll go up this elevator. Yep. Again, not the most exciting stuff on the inside of the base here. Get wrecked, Stormtrooper. Now I'm just going to need to pull one more switch, which will be through this travel chute with Wicket. One thing I am worried about here is having one heart. Not only might we hear Wicket's death sound, but if we die on the way out of here, it'll put us back inside where we just were. But I got through. Hopefully. Nope. Still got put back in there. So that's a little annoying. But yeah, that is how the game works sometimes. And finally we get through here. I'm not far enough, apparently. I'm really not far enough. Got the cutscene skip in the end, though. I'm very happy that I've found my groove with cutscene skips, at least for the original trilogy. And we've only got 2 levels left, so yeah, even after how badly the cutscene skips went in the beginning, we're still going to finish pretty nicely under estimate. I don't know if we're going to get a sub 150, but I wouldn't really expect that from a marathon run. Because the good thing is that overall I've been playing the levels quite well. It's the Emperor. Are you threatening me, Master Jedi? Oh, very good, Anakin. Now, kill him. Do it! I do like doing Palpatine's lines as Kermit. So one thing you can do that's really, really tricky in story mode is skip the lightning phases, but unfortunately everyone hasn't quite been in the right place at the right time. Got one there, I skipped a lightning phase. Gonna take care of these guys so that my partner doesn't get stuck on them, but now I'm going to take a little bit of a shortcut by jumping around here. The Emperor's gonna laugh at us a bit more. And I'm gonna hope that my partner has caught up with me by this point. Yep. Oh, just barely missed that lightning skip. And didn't get that one either. Vader's might fall down there. Okay, he didn't. Oh, I keep missing. I think that means no lightning skips for this phase. It is really tricky on story mode. Free play when you got Yoda going zoom. In fact, you got two Yodas going zoom, because you can have both players on the same character. It is a lot easier that way, but it's still a really inconsistent level in free play. And since you can do the levels in any order you want, I like to start the free play speedrun with this level. However, this phase is where the partner likes to cause the most trouble, because Vader was in the background, as you might have seen. So I'm gonna just wait for him by getting ready for this level. Oh, there he is. He followed me. Not too bad there, Vader. I do kind of need you right now, though, if you don't mind. And I got that lightning skip, at least. I almost stopped a little too short, but I still got it. Now let's go up the elevator. And Vader doesn't want to go up the elevator because he's busy fighting these guys. Oh well. We'll catch the next one. Excuse me. Three more hits on the Emperor. And then the last one is going to go all the way over there. And it would be nice to get this really long cutscene skipped, but we'll see. I'll remind you that they are in fact frame perfect. Now I missed it. Alright, so that means it's definitely not going to be a sub 150. Still, this run, it picked up. It picked up, that's for sure. I'm very glad that I've been able to show a decent number of cutscene skips in the end. And overall, I've played the levels well. I've been able to show off all the tricks that I would want to. Oh dear, poor Vader. Actually, I don't think it would have been a sub 150 anyway, because I forgot this first cutscene is like a minute long. Well, enjoy it while you have it here. There really isn't much to say about this level. It's a little bit of an anticlimactic ending, although it is the correct ending of Star Wars. With infinite torpedoes especially, there really isn't much to say about it. So yeah, I'll give some shoutouts, I guess, in the meantime. So of course, Shemcat, who is a big competition for me in this game. Nuxmaster, he's made TASes of all the main categories except this one. The they're not the most optimized TASes, but they're still great to watch. And he's also a top-level free play runner. Some people have found certain things to make my life slightly easier, like Flaming Laser and Beta Anang, also any percent runners. Of course, Lord Magecar, I've mentioned him already. Zelda Cubed, a couple of any percent strats he found, also the best cutscene skipper in my opinion. But yeah, right now I'm just taking out the Star Destroyers. After this last one here, I'll be going for a cutscene skip on a sound cue. And we got it. That's the last cutscene skip to go for in this run. Because the cutscenes at the end of this level, they won't be timed, because time will stop when I lose control in this level. We also didn't discover until last year that you can actually barrel roll as ships, and that will save time in spaces like this, where you want to move quickly from side to side. And in fact, you can even barrel roll during this like event cutscene here. Oop, I didn't get turned around though. So now I just have to take this out and collapse the generator. And then all we'll have to do is escape, where I'm not really going to have to do much. 9 seconds? Alright, I'm out of there. Alright, I don't need to do anything here, but bullet boosting does actually save me a bit of time, because it pushes me ever so slightly forwards. And on top of that, if you die, the auto-scroller just resumes anyway, so dying is not a punishment for this section. Alright, so at the end of this chase, it's gonna be time. There it is. Oh, alright. Not a bad run. Not a bad run. In the end. So, thank you very much for watching. This is my favorite speed game I've ever tried out so far. Free play in this run, as I mentioned, my favorite speed category of all time. This cutscene's really good. It's some of my viewers' favorites just because of the animations. We've got the Ewoks celebrating with their 2-frame animations. Well, I mean, that dancing is a little bit more than 2 frames, but that drumming, though. Look at all those frames. I'm up next with Anodyne. We're going to take a little bit of time to get set up for that. But yeah, before we do that, I'd just like to mention that I bought Lego Star Wars the video game on the GBA. So that'll be one of my next speedrun projects, to see how that one goes. But yes, I'm happy to go to the intermission now. See you in a moment.